Hi. I know no one asked for this, but I don't care. Maybe I do. Maybe a little bit. But I've been planning to do or saying I will post YouTube videos for a long time, and then I don't. And then I just had this moment of inspiration where I was just thinking about how, first of all of us go through life at one point or another and not know what to do with it. And me being like an ADHD brained girly, I want to do everything. It throws me for like a loop, and like my brain is scattered and I get just so scatterbrained. And it's difficult operating that way when like you feel like you don't have a clear path. There are people that grow up with like their parents are in a specific, and I'm talking career wise, right? Like career wise, passion wise, like sometimes the two are fundamentally intertwined. And for the people that do what they love for a living, that's amazing. Or enjoy their work at the very least, that's amazing. But some people have that kind of path carved out for them, and they have someone to look to, whether it's their parents, like a loved one, someone important and someone notable in their lives that they can look to and be like, I like what they do. Why don't I try and, I like that. I'll do that. And then others and some of us have to go through life just figuring it out and not really coming to like a definitive answer or conclusion. And that can be very troubling and daunting to be like, whoa, wait. And I have to pick one thing, you know what I mean? At least when it comes to like doing a job or, something you're doing for a living, to make money, you do have to pick really one thing or something that encompasses a few of the things that you enjoy or can see yourself doing at the very least. But yeah, and then some of us are creative and artistic and like don't know how to incorporate that in our lives. Like I, for example, grew up very creative, and I played piano from 6 years old up until my teens, and I also sang, and I thought I could possibly do that like for a living, but life and like reality sets in. It's like, wait, I actually have to make money, and it's not the easiest thing to do as an artist, but and also this idea behind being an artist and becoming successful in music would mean equate to fame as well. And there's a certain romanticization about fame that I had growing up, especially when it was kind of like just like pumped into my brain, like, oh, you're gonna make it big, by like certain members of family, and it was almost like they're trying to live their dreams through me. And then I conflated that with something that I actually wanted. And maybe I wanted to do the music, but I didn't necessarily want the fame. But I confused that someone else's dreams of being famous with my own, and then I took that up for myself. And I really romanticized this idea of being loved and, like, you know, revered by many people. And that's not a healthy thing to want. There's obviously something that is, like, lacking in your life that makes you want that. You're not fulfilled with whatever it is, like, with your life or maybe your path in life. So there's this need for, I don't know, some kind of validation. And through fame, a lot of people become idolized. There's this idolization behind celebrities that's borderline creepy sometimes. Parasocial relationships. But, and then this, like, false sense of, oh, I'm loved now. So I guess that is part of what, you know, being a person that maybe growing up, I didn't feel that, like, maybe in my own life all the time. So, but obviously we all do want to be fulfilled. We don't have to be, like, have the most extreme form of success, right? Like fame and fortune and, you know, glitz and glamour. But, like, you do want to be fulfilled. And you do want to be seen. Like, that's just, like, the human condition, is to, like, to want to be seen and loved, and to see and love other people too. So I think I've come to the realization that you don't need praise by a bunch of people. You need to find a field in which you can be proud of the work that you do, and make, like, that becomes a part of your world. And if you're proud of the work that you do, and it is part of your world, you will become proud of your life and what it has become, or what it is becoming through that process. And there won't be a need for external validation, because the external validation is sought to provide fulfillment, the fulfillment that you don't, like, that you lack in life. But if you're fulfilled through the things that you do, whatever, however small it may seem, as long as you love to do it, you know, whether it's working for, like, a nonprofit, volunteering, even just volunteering for one, or you know, getting involved in that sport that, like, you've always wanted to, you know, like, you felt like you could thrive in, and just have never given it a shot. But, like, you never know until you try. And I don't know, I think there's this, like, incessant need for that validation, the popularity, when you can be known and seen in your field. It doesn't have to be on this, like, mass grand scale. And I think everyone is trying to, like, monetize in some way, monetize their interests, no matter how many of them they have. And then it causes them to wonder, like, where is my place in this world? But your place is where you want to be, not where and other people will be in droves, you know, to see you. And, like, where you want to be may not have a lot of people paying attention to what you're doing or helping you like feel good all the time, but the work that you do will make you feel good. And I think that's what's important. Let go of the need to be idolized. And because what that ultimately comes down to is just feeling like something's missing, whether that's community. And you can find community in your work. So I think that's what's really beautiful about humanity, is like we all find our little place in this world. Like we fit ourselves in these little crevices and in grooves that make us all who we are. And it makes up this overarching thing we call humanity. And that's beautiful. We don't all have to be known, but we do have to be seen by the people around us. We don't have to be known by the entire world, but we need to be seen by the people around us. So, because that is our world, is our environment and the people surrounding us. So it's like we live in this world. We live in so billions of micro worlds that is every person. And it's such an interesting thing to think about. There's a word for that, like the realization that people have their own lives and intricacies and traumas, and like every person is so unique and like it's so individual from person to person. It's almost akin to being like an entirely like other world. And yet at the same time, we are also so alike in so many ways. So it's just interesting how we both differ and are alike in so many ways. Because I mean, I guess we just all have that foundation, that human foundation or human nature. But then built upon that is like all these layers that make us so different from person to person. So it's just like a beautiful thought. And it makes you think of people differently, right? When you can think of it in terms of, it makes people seem that much more special when you encounter them and when you think of it that way. But yeah, yeah, that was my little ramble, but yeah, I'm gonna post it. I'm not gonna even edit it because I hate that shit. But yeah, I used to post on here a lot, and it used to be like religious content, and like one commentary video, but I quickly deleted that. But yeah, this is just my ramble channel now, so yeah, feel free to stay tuned for more. And I just had to get those thoughts out of my mind, because I was like, this might help someone, because it definitely helped me to know, like, your place is not necessarily where other people will see you, but it's where will know who you are, and a bunch of people know your name, but like where you want to be, and where you genuinely want to be, and make a difference in whatever small way you can, to leave your mark and just do something good, something that you can be proud of. And that's all that matters. So, yeah, cool. Thanks for listening. Have a good one. Good day.